Inspire with Nendrix, the foundation.
Hey, Embracing Arms community, this is Your Best Life with Dr. Danielle Hairston. I'm coming back to you with another 5-minute quickie. I wanted to share a reflection with you today that I was listening to a speech just the other day, and I think it was a speech that Oprah was giving, and I want to say it may have been it wasn't at a commencement, but it was at an institution. It was at a higher education institution. I can't even remember what the purpose of her presentation or her presence at the institution was, but as usual, whenever she goes somewhere, she has to speak. She's always giving motivational messages. And I remember her quote saying that if someone disagrees with you, if you vilify or demonize someone who disagrees with you, the conversation stops. So if you vilify or demonize someone who disagrees with you, the conversation stops. And what does that mean? And so I really thought about that, and I thought about the way I do my work, and I thought about the people that I've been engaged with, and I thought about what I've seen on social media over the past several years, and I thought about just so many different things, and watching people have these conversations about frustrations with people who disagree with them from a political lens, disagree with them from a spiritual lens, religious lens, the way we parent, the way we love, the way we give love. And that if it doesn't align with the way we think, we automatically reject and demonize and vilify other people, as opposed to receiving the message in a way that helps to inform you about the various ways that people think and operate, just so that you can be more aware of it and be able to navigate different relationships, because you have a better understanding of why people think the way they do and why people respond to things the way they do. We used to do a game way back in the day with some youth that I used to lead called A Minute in My Shoes. And it was an opportunity for them to respond to 5 really tough, controversial questions on an index card without writing their name or anything like that. They just had 5 questions that I would pose to them. They will respond to each one of those questions, whether they agree, disagree, strongly agree, strongly disagree. And then I would collect up those cards, shuffle them, and then I would redistribute them so that each person will receive someone else's response. And then on the walls of the room, I would have poster papers, like the sticky note paper, and it would say agree, disagree, and 2 separate corners, and then strongly agree, strongly disagree on 2 other corners. And as I'm reading the questions again, whatever card you had in front of you, whatever that response is, that's where you needed to go. That's which corner you had to go to and represent. Now, the problem with that was it would be a controversial question, and it could be a response that you would have never responded in that way, right? You see this, and I'm saying, I think one of the questions is, women who wear who are scantily clothed, and are victims of domestic violence, brought it upon themselves. Something like that, something so controversial and heavy. And of course, there are people who said, yeah, and some people say absolutely not. And so you may be the person who was the absolutely not, but got an index card back of someone who says absolutely. And so you have to stand in that corner. And so the challenge was that without letting anyone know if that was your true answer or not, you had to defend your position. You had to stand there and defend that position. And so it was a minute in someone else's shoes and really reflecting on why someone would answer that question in that way, and why people believe the things that they believe, and why people operate the way that they operate. It's not to push them away. It is to learn. because we can't change what other people think and feel, right? We can only control how we respond to it. And I think sometimes when we vilify and we mute and we demonize people for thinking and feeling the way that that they feel, we limit our ability to learn and grow ourselves and understand the differences that makes up this amazing globe, because we are made up of so many different people and so many different attitudes and beliefs and experiences. And so if you vilify and demonize those people who think differently from you, the conversation stops. You can't have a conversation. You can't resolve conflict. You can't get to the next level of knowledge and experience. You just cannot. So just think about that as you are approaching your days and you're connecting with new faces and new people and people with different attitudes and opinions about religion, about politics, about caring for children, relationships, love, receiving and giving love, all of those things. Don't vilify them and don't demonize them, because the conversation will absolutely stop. All right, and we're about growth. All right, that was my 5-minute quickie. Go out in the community and embrace someone. They're waiting on you, and continue to live your best life.
My Lacasa boy, this is my residence. My prescription boy, this is my medicine. The world can be sickening and living in house resemblance. Not to mention the media's effort to keep us in the most simplistic state of mind. Lowest age bracket committing the highest rate of crime.